Many different ways to interact with TopSolid. Let's start with the basic sketcher. To illustrate, we're going to use some very simple examples, starting with circles. TopSolid is a prompt line driven application. If you notice, once I selected the circle icon, you see options for driving a circle by diameter and center. Now, most of the buttons in our prompt lines are actually modifiable. For example, if I select diameter, it changes to radius, which means I will be driving the circle by radius now. Here, TopSolid is asking me to describe a circle currently by radius and center. If I type a value here, for example 1, and hit enter, it feeds the radius text box, and if I move my cursor around the screen, you'll see that you have a 1-inch radial circle following your cursor. At this point, TopSolid wants you to select a location. Now you can do this a couple of ways. One would be just simply pick a point with your left mouse button. Another way would be to describe it. If I said, for example, put the circle at -2, 1, it's going to locate the circle at -2 in x and positive 1 inch in y. If I toggle the radius button now, I'm now defining my circle by diameter versus radius, and I'll put this at 0 in x and -2 in y. Now, I'm going to go back up in the prompt line, zero those fields out. And I'm going to click on the center button, which changes it to passing point. A passing point circle is basically an arc by 3 points. Now, if you notice, once you finish drawing your arc, you have more options here. One would be to give you the complementary arc, which means the opposing angle. If I undo that, we can also do a full circle from those 3 points. Now, another way to describe an arc would be, for example, let's say I want a 6-inch radius arc. So I'm going to type 6, hit enter, and I'm going to select this circle here and this circle here. And you'll notice that the system dynamically placed that arc tangent to both of the circles. Now I have yet another new option called invert. I could say, you know what, I want the arc swinging that way instead. The same is applicable using most of the sketching tools. TopSolid will actually assume tangency or perpendicularity between pretty much any type of curve there is out there. For example, if I take a line and just select one of the circles, as you can see, dynamically it's maintaining tangency. If I let my cursor hover over this lower 1-inch diameter circle, it's going to end tangent. However, if I move it up, it's going to end perpendicular. And these are all constraints that are being applied. For example, if I take this circle and move it, you can see that the tangencies and perpendicularities are being maintained dynamically.